Guys, it's your buddy Caden with your Money Minutes, where I interview millionaires and they give us advice on helping families in business. Today, my special guest is Dr. Dennis Kimbro. Dr. Dennis Kimbro is a well-known, well-respected author, speaker, and professor at Clark Atlanta University, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. He's a co-author of Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, the Bible for the Aspiring Black Capitalist. Dr. Kimbro's motivational lectures have influenced the boardrooms of General Motors, Walt Disney, Frito-Lay, and Wells Fargo. Today, I humbly welcome Dr. Dennis Kimbro.
Well, thank you very much, Caden. Thanks for having me.
I'm so honored and excited to have you on my show today, sir.
No, the pleasure is all mine. Sorry for all the mix-up and everything regarding our schedules, but like I said, I have class on Tuesday and Thursday and trying to make sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. So, Caden, I'm all yours.
You're awful good. My platform educates kids on financial literacy, but also shows parents ways to educate their kids. Again, welcome to Money Minutes.
Okay, I'm all yours.
The first question I have for you is Dr. Kimbro. In one of your speeches, you stated that being wealthy is a choice. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, yeah, it's a choice that we have to make as an individual. And all wealth and there are 10 different forms of wealth, and money is only one of them. The number one form of wealth is knowledge. You can't develop wealth until you have a wealth consciousness. So that is a particular choice that you make. Like I said, there are 10 different forms. Knowledge is number one, but number 9 is charisma, and number 10 is energy. And these are all choices that we can make as individuals. I mean, there are 50 million choices that bombard your life, and you don't have to address them. But there are 2 choices that you have to face as soon as you get up in the morning. Number 1, you can accept the circumstances as they are. But number 2, you can take the responsibility to change them. And those are choices that we have got to address.
Yeah, wealth is a choice. Dr. Kimbro, you conducted interviews similar to this one when you wrote your book, The Wealth Choice. How did you use those interviews when writing your book?
Okay, well, one of the things that I did, I wanted to use with this particular study, it was more survey method than anything else, Caden. So I want to make sure that I wrap my mind and I wrap my thoughts around these individuals regarding every aspect of their life. So number 1, I held focus groups around the country with Black millionaires because I wanted to see how they operate with each other. Number 2, I had face-to-face interviews with these individuals, me one-on-one with these individuals to see how they operated with me just as an individual. And number 3, I wrote an anonymous survey that they completed in which I asked them 118 questions. So using those 3 different research methods, I really got a chance to really take a deep dive into their thinking, into the paradigms that they're using, and into their individual skill sets.
That was a very smart idea for you to use their interviews and turn it into a book. Dr. Kimbro, in your talks, you often mention that courage is a key factor in achieving success. When was a time that you had to have a lot of courage?
Yeah, My books aren't about cash. They're about courage, because it takes courage to chase your dream. It takes courage to forsake today for tomorrow. It takes courage to believe in yourself when no one else will. So those are all key components of, of wealth and of success. And when you use those traits, those qualities, and those attributes, you are just as successful as any individual that I might profile in the book, regardless of how much money they've earned.
Well, it's having a lot of courage is always great in business. Dr. Kimbro, many people think of a capitalist being a bad thing. Can you expand on how the word capitalist is misunderstood?
Yeah, capitalism is not a dirty word. Capitalism just means that everything is for sale. And the Latin derivative of the term capitalism is caput. And what does that mean in Latin? It means head. I've said it on a number of occasions. What's the one thing you must use in order to survive in a free and open society? It is your head. It is your thinking. And so few people take an opportunity to sit, to be still, to cut off the noise, to eliminate distraction, and to think. And all the individuals who I interviewed, their vision came out of their thoughts. And thoughts are things. Thoughts lead to emotions. Thought leads to ideas. Thoughts lead to your creative skills and your creative gifts. And we have got to take the time to sit, to be still, and find that particular area, time of day, location, whatever, in which we can do our best thinking.
The word capitalist is always misunderstood as being a bad thing. Dr. Kimbro, I recently interviewed Dr. George Fraser. We spoke about circulating the black dollar in our community. What are your thoughts on keeping our dollars in our community longer?
Yeah, that's a great question. If you want to look at other ethnic groups and races and cultures, they will tell you, particularly East Indians, the average dollar stays in the East Indian community for about 45 days before leaving. The average dollar stays in the Asian community about 24 days before leaving. The average dollar stays in the Jewish community about 19 days before leaving. And the average dollar stays in the Black community about 6 hours before leaving. So that is something that we have got to focus in on, because Black America's most prolific scholar, W.B. Du Bois, wrote years ago when he said, you know, the man or woman who won't control his or her finances won't control anything else. And nothing positive will ever occur in a community that fails to circulate its dollars. So, those are the words of wisdom that has been given down to us from Du Bois in 1897. We just got to take time to implement those words of wisdom.
It's very important that we keep our dollars in our community longer. Dr. Kimbro, in my business, I teach kids like myself basics of financial literacy. How important do you think it is to start teaching financial literacy early?
Oh, man, Caden, it's got to be done at an early age. And financial literacy just focuses around the following 3 or 5 points. Right now, there are more than 31,000 different verses in the Bible. Of those 31,000 plus verses in the Bible, 2,500 deal with you, deal with me, deal with everybody that's going to see and hear the Zoom call with their finances. And, the long and short of financial literacy begins with 3 key components. Number 1, set a budget. Know exactly how much money you have coming in and how much money is going out. Once you tell your money where to go, you won't have to, find out where your money went. Number 2, avoid debt at all costs. Leave your credit cards at home. Go as far as your money can take you, as far as your wallet can take you. And then last but not least, focus on giving. Make as much money as you can and give away as much as you can. Those are 3 simple rules that anybody can follow.
Yes, they are. It's very important for kids to learn about financial literacy early. Dr. Kimbro, can you talk to the parents on why it's important for families to create generational wealth?
Oh, yes. I learned that from John Johnson, founder of Ebony Magazine, when he used a metaphor, he used a sports metaphor of passing a baton in a relay race. A relay race isn't won or lost in how fast the 4 runners are. A relay race is won or lost in how capable one runner can pass the baton to the next. And in terms of generational wealth, that is a relay race that is focusing around the finances of previous generations that are enabling and passing that baton of wealth down to the children and down to the grandchildren. Caden, you may not come from a wealthy family, and I may not come from a wealthy family, but our goals don't change. Our goal is that when we leave this world, we leave a wealthy family behind. That is generational wealth. And all you got to do is make sure that the next generation knows the tools of money management so they do not need to reinvent the wheel.
It's very important to always create generational wealth. Dr. Kimbro, can you tell everyone, what are your thoughts on raising business-minded kids?
Oh, yeah, that's definitely needed. Right now, out of 34 million African Americans, you have maybe 2 million plus business owners. I don't call them entrepreneurs because, people who run small, who operate small businesses, well, they run small businesses on a daily basis. But what do entrepreneurs do? Entrepreneurs solve problems and change the world. So the fact of the matter is, of these 34 million African Americans out there, you have 2 million plus. We need more entrepreneurs, and we need entrepreneurs in emerging markets. And what is emerging markets? Taking a product or service and creating a new product or service out of there to simplify life and solve the problems of our constituents. So that's what we need, and we need a new wealth class that is going to come out of these emerging markets.
Yes, we do. We need to raise business-minded kids, especially in the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Kimbro, this is my final question.
Okay.
It doesn't have anything to do with business, but I like to ask everyone this. What is your guilty pleasure?
Just relaxing at home. I work hard and I play hard. And that's something I've always done, and I try to adhere to it. No one on this campus has more students than me. So by the time I go home on days that I have class, I'm completely, totally drained. But I find ways to unwind, and I find ways to make sure that I blend my family into many of the enjoyments that I have in life. Well, Caden, I certainly enjoyed my interview with you.
I enjoyed you allowing me to interview you. It was an honor having you on my show today, and it was an honor having you on my show today. Do you have any final words to the audience?
Oh, man. Yes, you are a role model, Caden. And I am so proud and honored to be on your show. And you keep doing what you're doing, and you keep changing the thought patterns of your generation, and only big things are going to come out of it.
Thank you so much.
All right. You take care, and God bless. Tell your father, job well done. And I'm sorry for the delay.
Okay. Well, guys, remember, Caden can, you can too.